It usually starts the same way. The room is quiet, the lights are off, your body is tired, but your mind is wide awake. And suddenly a conversation from hours ago comes back. Something small, something most people would forget in minutes, but not you. You replay the moment, the words, the tone of your voice. You wonder if you sounded awkward, if you said the wrong thing, if that pause was too long, if that look on their face meant something you missed. And before you realize it, you're no longer in bed. You're back in the conversation, reliving it, analyzing every second, while everyone else involved in that moment is probably already asleep. So why does this happen? Why do some people close their eyes and drift into sleep, while others stay awake, replaying conversations that already ended? Imagine this. Earlier today, you were talking with someone, maybe a coworker, maybe a friend, maybe someone you care about more than you admit. The conversation seemed normal at the time. You laughed, you responded, you nodded along, and when it ended, nothing seemed wrong. But later that night, your mind returns to it. Not once, not twice, over and over. You remember a sentence you said, and suddenly it feels wrong. You remember a small silence between words. Now it feels uncomfortable. You remember their facial expression. Now it feels like hidden disappointment. Your brain begins doing something strange. It starts rewriting the moment. What if I sounded stupid? What if they misunderstood me? What if they think something different about me now? And the more you think about it, the more real these fears begin to feel. Pause for a moment. Think about the last conversation you replayed in your head, the one that kept returning long after it ended. What part of it stayed with you? Was it something you said, or something you wish you had said? For most overthinkers, it's rarely the obvious moments that stick. It's the tiny ones. A pause, a look, a sentence that suddenly feels slightly off, and your mind grabs onto it like a loose thread and starts pulling. Overthinkers don't replay conversations because they enjoy it. They replay them because they care. They care about how they are perceived. They care about hurting people. They care about saying the right thing. They care about being understood, but that care comes with a hidden cost. Because when you care deeply about your words, your brain treats conversations like puzzles that must be solved. Did I say enough? Did I say too much? Did they mean something else? Did I miss something important? While others move on from conversations, the overthinker continues investigating them. Here's the strange part. Most of the time, the other person isn't thinking about it at all. They've already moved on. They're watching a show, scrolling their phone, thinking about their own problems. Meanwhile, your mind is running a quiet investigation, replaying the conversation from 10 different angles, searching for hidden meaning, searching for mistakes, searching for something that might not even exist. But the reason this happens runs deeper than most people realize. Overthinking conversations usually begins long before the conversation itself. It starts with sensitivity. People who replay conversations often grew up paying close attention to emotional signals, tone of voice, body language, subtle shifts in energy. Maybe they learned early that small changes in mood could mean something important. So they developed a skill, observation, reading between the lines, understanding people without them saying much. And that ability can be powerful. It makes someone empathetic, aware, emotionally intelligent. But when that awareness turns inward, it can become exhausting because suddenly your mind isn't just listening to others, it's listening to itself, questioning every word, reanalyzing every reaction, running endless what if scenarios. And the more aware you are of social details, the more material your mind has to replay at night. Think about something else for a moment. Why does this usually happen at night? Why not during the day? Why does the mind wait until everything becomes quiet? Because during the day, your attention is busy, work, messages, movement, noise, distractions. But when the world slows down, your thoughts finally have space to speak. And for an overthinker, those thoughts don't whisper, they replay, like a movie you didn't choose to watch again. But here's something most overthinkers don't realize. The reason your mind keeps replaying conversations isn't because you're weak. It's because your brain is trying to protect you. Your mind believes that if it studies the conversation carefully enough, it can prevent future mistakes. It thinks, next time I'll say it better. Next time I'll respond differently. Next time I'll avoid embarrassment. Next time I'll understand what they meant. So it studies the moment again and again and again. But here's the problem. Most conversations aren't puzzles with perfect answers. They are messy, human, imperfect, and no amount of replaying can change what already happened. There's also another quiet truth. Sometimes the conversation that keeps replaying in your head isn't really about the conversation at all. Sometimes it's about something deeper, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of being judged, the fear that the way people see you might suddenly change. And those fears don't disappear when the conversation ends. They follow you into the quiet moments of the night. But something interesting begins to happen as people grow older. Many overthinkers slowly realize something surprising. Most people are far too busy thinking about themselves to spend much time analyzing you. They're replaying their own conversations, worrying about their own mistakes, second guessing their own words. Everyone is inside their own head, which means the moment you've replayed 20 times tonight and might not have crossed the other person's mind even once. And realizing this can feel strangely freeing, not immediately, but slowly, because it reminds you of something important. Conversations are not performances that must be perfect. They are simply moments between imperfect people. Pause for a moment and ask yourself something. What if the goal of conversation was never perfection? What if it was simply connection, not flawless words, not perfect timing, just honest presence? Because when you stop trying to analyze every sentence, something unexpected happens. You begin to experience conversations instead of studying them. And here's the twist many overthinkers eventually discover. The very thing that makes you replay conversations is also what makes you thoughtful, empathetic, careful with your words, aware of other people's feelings. The goal isn't to stop caring, it's to stop punishing yourself for caring. The next time your mind begins replaying a conversation late at night, notice what it's trying to do. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to prepare you. But sometimes the kindest thing you can do for your mind is remind it of something simple. The moment already happened. The words have already been spoken. And tomorrow, new conversations will come, new chances to speak, new chances to listen, new moments that won't need to be perfect. Because the truth is, most people will never remember every word you said, but they will remember how you made them feel and that quiet awareness you carry. The same one that keeps you replaying conversations at night is also the reason people often feel understood when they talk to you, even if they never realize why.